She keeps messaging me.
I didn't sign it.
Yeah, yours and they messed ours up too. So Kelly and I are having to deal with some other ones too. But she keeps including yours and mine.
Yeah, you emailed it to me.
Okay, thanks.
I just spaced it out.
I don't see it on the agenda.
Well, I guess I'll
She printed out a new agenda, she said.
What's it? What are you looking for?
executive session. Do I have the wrong?
Executive session?
See right there, it says approve a minute. Oh, or are you talking about the one for today, the executive session today? It's on down someplace.
Yeah, it's on the second page up under new business
Are you talking about the executive session we're going to have, or are you talking about minutes?
tonight. This executive
The
session.
one we're gonna have.
Hand this back over so Tammy has them, please.
Which agenda should I be looking?
The most
I think you have
recent. The most recent
It
one.
says final one. I think.
Finally.
It took a couple.
Either that or the one that
Just get
says this
going.
really is the
It
final.
says
I thought it-
final.
I thought I was on that one.
This is the land.
Yeah. It has been a Monday.
I'm gonna walk down there. And I was down there today and they were showing me there's a stake,
Yeah,
this is the guardhouse. And
real
this is
estate
town
map.
stake.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay.
Got it?
Stake up here.
Oh my gosh! Every time I send it out,
And the point up here.
somebody else would come in and go, "What
Land
about?
from town, technically.
What about
And
this?"
they were wondering if the town.
So somebody's gonna need to
interested,
delete
yeah, dedicating that to landfill and they'd use
tiny
that
home
for the
one.
workshop part.
It's deleted off.
Oh,
of
off
that
of this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
this one should be final.
The real final.
Fixed
Because this is the
everything.
roadway comes in this
Except
way,
I
and
think Kelly's
park
on.
stuff is all out.
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah, the road comes
Doesn't
down here,
claim.
The rest of the park stuff's off.
Yeah.
But this is all fenced off here.
Yeah, you guys actually paid the fence off our piece of property.
But this piece is not fenced.
Well, I know
This
the
piece is
front of it's fenced. There's a chain link on
I
it.
mean,
But there's nothing along this down here.
Okay.
So does that mean that they can park their equipment there? Does it mean they better get off it? Does it mean they should fence it? What should we do?
It's the town's property, and they shouldn't have anything parked on there until we decide what we're going to do. It's the town stuff, so there should be some stuff there from the town stuff, as far as I know. But I haven't been in there to look at it forever, to tell you the truth, Margaret. So I don't know.
Well, if you drive down there, you turn past the guard shack. There's a stake out here, and there's a stake right
This is the garden shed where up on top.
No, down the guards area, the greens area.
Oh, Greens area.
This down the greens area.
she's got a lot.
It's right in behind.
This is actually a storage area for the town,
And
for
this
public
is,
works.
and this is all fenced off out here. But there's no fence here. So the same reason asking me, I don't know.
We'll have to, I don't know what's sitting in there right now. I'd have to go
Nothing,
take a
there's
look.
absolutely nothing in there.
Because we had one time we had some vehicles out there that we moved, and then there was some, they've been storing some
I forgot.
extra dumpsters out
You know,
there.
there is, in the police area, there's extra dumpsters and some vehicles. But it is one fence with one pipe.
I must be thinking the other side. I'd have to go out and,
Go out there, if we're going down the road here, you pass the guards out here and the guards down here, and we're right up here. And there's a stake on the tent.
so this is the Greens area.
This is the greens area. And then over here, right across the street.
that's right.
And I suppose it cuts back up in here and makes it kind of a
And I think that
Well, I'll just have to look. And then that way we can all discuss it too.
Well, if you'd like to check into it, please.
Yeah.
They said, would you look at it? I don't know anything about this kind of stuff, but I'll definitely find out.
We'll take a look.
And their drainage area is so much improved from what I saw last time. They have really done a lot out there to clean it up, and they've got this new person called Danny that's taking it over.
I don't know how many people will actually.
Seems very knowledgeable and very enthusiastic, because we want someone like that to sing.
Oh, Tammy.
So check it out.
See what I can find.
Usually we,
Or at least
school
go
board,
look.
we usually
Figure
go
it out.
last
Yeah.
Thursday of the month. They're having it the 11th.
Jeez.
It's been on the workshop this week.
He showed up. I didn't have to.
Oh, it's in
I thought, I didn't remind him. I bet he doesn't come.
Our workshop's on
I
Monday.
wouldn't have said something this
Our
morning.
council workshop, I think, is on Monday. But
Yeah,
this
but
week
we-
we're having an emergency meeting.
On the 11th or something?
Yeah,
He
for-
says he's got a different.
Yeah, and that's we'll still have a forum.
Well, I can, it's not, theirs is until 5:30. I could be here at 5.
Well, I
Is it at 5:30?
I think it's at 5:30 is what I
It's
said.
a meeting. But it's okay. It's just for a liquor license.
But we already okayed that. They just had.
And that is only if
That's
it,
cool, then I won't forget.
gets approved.
They're doing budget stuff.
Yeah, and she just got me the rest of her paperwork, and I just got it into the liquor division, so I don't even know if they're going to approve it by then. So if they don't approve it by then, we'll have to
So the workshop
cancel.
is 11th. Is that the 11th?
Thursday.
Monday.
It's on Thursday.
The following Monday, it's like the 15th.
15th, yeah.
That's right.
Work session.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I got my red ticker under control, John.
Yeah?
I like my red arrow.
How are you? I could do this. Attention.
Sing happy anniversary to him.
Yeah, nobody wants me singing. Coulter. Are we on?
Oh, I can, sir.
Here, I'll just do it. We are. Okay.
It came, it's light held, so I figured it was on.
Okay, good.
Because if you do it last time, it'd hold for just a minute and then it would drop out.
Okay.
Bruce, did you hear that Douglas now starts their council meetings at 4 o'clock in the afternoon?
No, I've not heard that.
Yep, they have changed their time to 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Interesting.
That's what I thought too.
That's early.
That's right. Yeah, it's 4 o'clock. Their council starts at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
People work.
Maybe that's the idea.
I said,
I don't know.
Strategic.
I don't know.
Well,
either.
I don't know, they have more workshops than we do, and sometimes they get together before a meeting and do stuff too, so I have no idea. I haven't talked to Kim about what time they start down there at all, so.
They just changed it here just
Okay.
real recently.
I'm going to go ahead and call the public hearing open, and its purpose of it is for the land exchange between the town of Glen Rock and the county, and it's an exchange of part of what go on between the town of Glen Rock and it. I'll read the first one. It says land exchange agreement here and after the name the agreement is made blank day of blank of 2024 by and between the town of Glen Rock, Wyoming, hereafter town, who and address 219 South 3rd Street, Glen Rock, Wyoming, 82637 in the county of Converse, Wyoming, hereafter county, whose address is 107 North 5th Street, Suite 114, Douglas, Wyoming, 82633. Collectively, the parties. For the purpose of the agreement, the town shall act by and through Bruce Ramel, Mayor, and authorizing representative for the town of Glen Rock, Wyoming, and county shall act by and through James H. Willix, county commissioner, authorized representative for the county of Converse, Wyoming. It's an exchange for, we are exchanging 2.93 acres to the county for, in turn, I think for 8.86, if I remember right, is close, 8.338 for the purpose of being able to build a shooting range for law enforcement. Is there any questions or concerns?
One thing I thought was interesting in here, it does state that the pieces of land are considered of equal value. Now, where they came up with that, I don't know. There's
I have no idea.
2.9 for 8 seems a little bit strange, but I guess
Well, our piece is up on top in that corner, and it's actually a piece that's across the draw where the railroad went down into the lower area where the sewer main goes down that comes off of Sunup Bridge and all that, and goes to the sewer lagoon system. And it kind of left that corner back there, that piece is totally blocked off, and that would add that corner section to the county shop storage and lot area. And we're picking up the 8.338 down in the bottom along on the just east of the sewer lagoon system, and what used to be part of the county's gravel pit that had no gravel, just sand. And they've reclaimed a good percentage of it, and we're getting in under the hill there and along the just east of the lagoon, the 8.8 acres there. That's what the trade is.
I'm going to trade 2 and get 8. That's not too bad, is it?
No? And actually, the
It's
piece
2
of...
they want, and it's 8
Unless
we
there's-
want, so that makes
yeah,
it
and
equal.
Unless there's a sinkhole
if
down
somebody
there.
ever bought lot 4 of that piece across the draw, to get to it, you have to go around through the county's shop area to get to it anyhow. That's just the way that right-of-way goes down off of there. So,
Mr. Mayor, I think,
You asked if anybody had any public questions. This is going to be specifically for law enforcement, or is this going to be
specifically for law enforcement only, because it's inside the city limits of the town of Glen Rock. If anybody wants to say anything about it, you need to come up to the podium. I'm just letting you know and state your name and stuff for it. But this is the purpose of exchanging the 2 pieces of property so the police department can go forth with the money budgeted for work down there to develop the range for the police department. Any other public comment or questions? Hearing none, I will go ahead and close this public hearing, and I will open the town of Glen Rock's town council meeting. And would you please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with us? Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there any additions or deletions for this evening?
No.
Okay, hearing none, I will ask for somebody to approve the minutes of the June 10th, 2024 executive session, the June 24th, 2024 executive session, and the June 24th, 2024 council meeting.
I move we approve these 3 sets of minutes as presented.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Reports, Councilman Moulton.
well, Deer Creek Days happen. That's over with. We do have a meeting 17th at the chamber office at 6. If anybody's got comments, suggestions, possible maybe what they'd like to see next year, they're welcome to attend at the chamber office over there. So
Okay.
that's about it.
Councilwoman Nunn.
I have a couple, 3 things here. And as John said, Deer Creek Days happen. And I want to say thanks to Kim Martin and Candy Benedetta for their work on organizing the parade, and to all the people who participated in that parade. It was a very nice parade. Candy was flying everywhere. Many happy families were enjoying time together, participating in the various activities, and enjoying some beautiful weather in Glen Rock. We got really lucky. Much appreciation to the Glen Rock Police Department and the town maintenance crew who worked to make Deer Creek Days a safe and happy time. Part of the Deer Creek Days is the FFA held their livestock auction and had a sales income of over $200,000. A large part of this income is going to the family of Mackenzie Blessinger. the 14-year-old girl killed in an automobile accident on Highway 91 due to a bad choice not made by that lovely family, with 2 other family members severely injured. A job well done to the FFA people. It's so good to see a group of young people, the FFA members, stepping up to financially assist this family, and may each of you who sold an animal at this auction have a special feeling of pride for your contribution. And once again, as of now, 367 Wyoming citizens have been deployed or will soon be, following training to destinations unknown. Names of these people are still not being released. These people have only been told it will not be home for Christmas. Our thoughts and prayers must go out to these people and to their family for their soon and safe return to Wyoming.
Okay, thank you. I attended the Wyoming Department of Transportation's District 2's STIP meeting at the Converse County Commissioner's Office last Thursday, or Wednesday. Thursday was the 4th. Just to let you know, under projects in Converse County in 2024, they're going to go ahead with the Wyoming Highway 95, Glen Rock to Rolling Hills Mill and Overlay between milepost 1.68 and 7.65. So that will be some stuff that'll show some people going up and down, and maybe a little bit of traffic control while that's going on, but it's going to get milled and overlaid later this summer. The other project coming up that we need to know and remember is in 2027, the Converse County project, the US 2026 Highway 87, the bridge, milepost 165.44 Deer Creek Bridge, which is the bridge right down here on Birch Street, which is also part of the highway, will be replaced. So that bridge will come out and a new bridge being built. I've had a few discussions with their project manager and a few of them to not narrow that up, but actually widen it out a little bit so it's a little wider approach off of both sides to take care of some problems with an old culvert and irrigation canal head gate that still lets water through, that helps flood our park and everything when the creek's high, to see if we can't get that totally sealed off or gone so it quits doing that when we have high water.
Yeah.
Helps not so much water going through the creek and down through the RV park. That's 2 projects that are coming up. I just thought I'd let everybody know that what was going on or what the county, they have a lot of other ones going on all over the county in the next 6 years.
Mr. Mayor, is there any particular action that the landfill needs to be taking when this road is done to make sure we can safely get our people in to dump their trash and our trash out to Casper?
Well, it'll just be it'll be done by the highway department. They'll do traffic control, and people going up the hill, they should be able to turn in. I'm sure there'll be some control of it too, that coming in and out in the middle of the project, depending on where they get to, where they're milling it all off. So that'll be something that we can, when they get closer, we can get back to and talk to the district manager here for the Wyoming DOT out of Douglas and make sure that we brought it up about concerns about all the turnoffs into Rolling Hills and the dump at that time. So they do know that that would be something they'll have to watch and take care of, because it's their project. It's not the county's or ours. It's the Wyoming State Highway Department. It's the Wyoming DOT. So,
Mayor, it's my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, that on the bridge project they're going to improve the walkways on both sides, the sidewalk area.
There's a walkway on the north side of it, but they talked about it a little bit. I don't know if they will put that back. It's not finalized yet.
Okay.
Because their design group wanted to narrow it and actually take that away, because they know we have the pathway and everything and more foot traffic over there, but we do get foot traffic still down the highway right there on the north side, walks down and crosses the bridge here also. But I brought that up several times with the
That's what I had
with the engineer. So
okay,
yeah, so I know they're talking about it, and he's been very helpful about widening the whole approach on both sides by 4 more feet on both sides. So we'll see what happens if it comes back, but that's what he's pushing for. Councilman Kincaid.
Not a whole lot. Attended Deer Creek Days. It was a good turnout, I thought. Downtown Park was a lot of fun. A lot of people down there. Been going to Friday night at the Square. It's been a blast. The bands are great. Big turnouts. Like seeing that. This Thursday, I have a hospital board meeting and won't be here for that meeting on the 11th. We got to discuss budget over there, so that's all I got.
Okay. Councilwoman Collins.
On July 3rd, I went to the Municipal County Joint Power Board's meeting. Just a couple of things. They brought up as far as law enforcement, their Flex system is due for a 5-year contract update through Motorola. It's coming due soon. They're not quite sure when. And it looks like E911 funds will not cover the entire cost for each agency, so that additional cost will have to be borne by the individual agencies, but they don't know how much that is. So, Public Health has hired a nurse for Glen Rock coverage. She'll be at the Oregon Trail Clinic. That means that Glen Rock will now have a nurse and a maternal health nurse covering the area. Coming up, there's going to be a KIMPAC workshop which deals with nerve agents. It will be scheduled in the next few months and will be advised so we can all attend that, find out how to stay away from nerve agents. Converse County fire ban went into effect on July 3rd, and it's in effect officially until removed by the county commissioners, and that's Resolution 1024 of the
Between the commissioners and the county fire warden.
Right. Settler Wind Farm and Bright Night Solar Farm, their MOUs are moving forward. Then they just wanted to remind everybody that Camporee is coming up in Gillette the first week of August, and it's going to probably have regional impact, and plans seem to be in place for that. And then on Saturday was the Tony Lehner golf tourney. I went up and assisted them, and it looked like they were having a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, that Camporee and Gillette and in Campbell County will have an influx of over 50,000 young people camping on the Camplex area, so it's going to be interesting for what goes on in
Yes,
on surrounding counties and stuff also. So
yeah, they'll be traveling through the areas, and a large number of them will be non-English speaking. Just a heads
Judy,
up.
what kind of services will that public health nurse be offering people in our community? Do you have any idea?
No, I think she's just a general public health nurse, and she'll be stationed at the, it was my understanding she'll be at Oregon Trail Clinic, and so now that she'll do regular nursing and through public health, and then they also have a maternal health nurse doing the mother-baby specific stuff.
Clerk Tammy.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a reminder that we do, as of right now, have the emergency meeting on Thursday. I am still waiting for approval on that liquor license from the liquor division. So if I don't have it by Thursday, we will have to reschedule. So I'll keep you posted on that. And then we have the work session on Monday at 5.
Okay.
Tammy, what time was that Thursday meeting?
5:30.
5:30, and the work session?
Yes.
5:30 too?
The work session is at 5.
At 5.
Yeah.
Kelly, treasurer.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Just playing catch-up and being gone for a couple days, which was much needed and much appreciated. And I will have a couple additions to bills and claims from things that came in while I was out that do need to be paid. So, and that's it.
Okay. Bill, Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Some of the things we did accomplish this week was got a little closer on our parks, some of our systems have been, it seems like last winter they didn't get blown out right, and so we're finding a lot of leaks. And so if you see some brown grass, we're getting there. I think in one spot we had 4 leaks, but they're so high a pressure down there at the park, it's really hard to deal with. And of course, Deer Creek Days seemed like it went pretty good. I heard some good things, so I think we covered it. So, and you guys, if you know anything, let me know.
Yep. Appreciate everything you did.
Yeah. Tomorrow there's a DEQ inspection on our lagoons, so for me that's going to be interesting. So I don't know what we're up against, but we got her all the information she needed the other day, so we'll see how it turns out. And see, we never got to be involved in anything like that. So this is like new.
Brand new for you, part of you guys.
Yeah. So, let's see. Oh, it seems like, I know you might agree or disagree, but Bruce, seems like Andreen Hunt and Crown are moving right along.
Oh, yeah, they're both doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I think it looks to me where Andreen Hunt was today that they'll probably by the end of the week be clear to
Yeah.
the back street
Yeah,
in there.
because they're halfway up.
Yeah, they've moved along really well since last Thursday. I mean, they've made some. Once they got those last 2 tie-ins on Holly, that's just nothing but a straight pipe lay. Then they'll pressure all that and back, and chlorinate it, and then they'll flush it and do back tees, and then
Yeah,
if it's
we
good,
did.
then they'll be back clear back down to the other end,
Yeah.
and starting over and doing all the water taps.
Right. And we
Nice.
did a back T test for them today. So
Did you? So
Yeah,
okay,
so that
that's
should
another
be-
section of it they'll turn on.
It's
yeah.
nice they're working on that corner down here on
Yeah,
Second Street.
that should be paved in the next week or so.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna be nice.
That'll be good. That needed.
We did
that.
both radiuses and took that old storm drain out in the middle that everybody fell off into driving
Forever.
out of there, and there's one on both sides of the street, and they're just repaving
It's
just
gonna be
the
nice.
corner. We did the
And-
radius there.
There's numerous other things, of course, but I know, and Chevy might say something about it, but I think the splash pad may be down, and it's like the worst time because it's supposed to get hot.
Yeah.
But it may be down. We just don't know how long yet. So
Hopefully we can get somebody in here to look at that,
Yeah.
that acid pump.
yeah.
Are they getting the mosquito sprayed?
Yep.
Been asked by several people. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've definitely been out
Okay.
twice a week. So I'm trying to do Tuesday and Friday.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
So do you have a new kind of spray? I can't smell you in the morning anymore.
No, it's definitely not new.
It's not new.
No,
Okay.
no. We'll make sure we stop in front of your house. For
Give it a really good smell so I know it's there. Thank
Maybe
you.
an extra shot. Go to malathion.
But that's
Thanks, Bill.
all I have, unless you guys have something.
Lyle, building inspector.
Evening, Mayor and Council. I'm catching up after last week. Put a roof on my house, so I was out. So it's a lot better here, I'll tell you that. Weeds, tall grass, working on that. I know Jan Gray's going to be starting to cut his next week. I'm going to come up with a better solution on how to get him addressed so that he's sooner in the year. Inspections, Trails Apartments is coming up on a final, so they're about done. The laundromat is getting close to being ready to go, so they're going to be finaling out on that pretty soon. Car wash moving along. I think they made a deal with a paving company, so
Yeah, I know Jared Ferringer sent that stuff to them so they're supposed to get that bid out, and then we will reimburse them for our part on Bridgers Crossing.
yeah. So I think Casey struck a deal with one of them. I can't remember who he picked.
Do you know?
I don't remember. But other than that, pretty busy. Just keeping up with trying to get people to comply with compliance. That's all I got.
Okay. Police Chief, Colter Felton.
Evening, Mayor and Council. As has been stated a couple times already, Deer Creek Days did in fact happen. We got through it rather well, I would say. Just had a couple of pretty small issues, but in the grand scheme of things, I think for the most part everybody came to have a good time and left the same way. But the parade in particular, wanted to kind of thank the community. We tried something different this year as far as throwing candy only to one side of the street. To help cut down on that safety issue of kids running across 4 lanes for candy. Instead, just, keep them on the one side. And everybody actually responded really well. I didn't get any backlash or complaints. Seemed like all the kids still got full bags and didn't have any issues with that. Big thanks to the Public Works crew for helping us out. We've identified some things that we'd like to do better next year or build on. Yeah, I mean, it was great. It's always good to work together with another department on coming up with ways to make that go smoother for sure. 4th of July went off with a bang, no pun intended. Big thanks to the fire department. I think they saved us. This year, I can say that we did not have a call in town on the 4th of July regarding fireworks. So I credit that almost completely to both the citizens as well as the fire department for putting on a great safe show out there. I think those guys, they don't get enough credit for the 2 days of the year that they spend out there. It's they were backed up. I believe I spoke with the fire chief today. He told me they had over 400 cars per night, and so you figure
That
2 to 5 people per car.
Dumpsters out there.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much disposed of in that dumpster.
It's very interesting, but it's a big draw, and they do a great job of making sure everybody stays safe. They did mention that they did have the ball fields catch on fire this year because of the sprinkler system, of course, but they got it out real quick. They were on standby, and I mean, big thanks to them. Great work. We did have our officer came back from SRO training this last week, so we got that going. We're still working with the school, putting together that MOU that hopefully by the next council session you guys will be reviewing for me. And then just wanted to touch base on the MOU here with Evansville that we have. I did speak with Councilwoman Nunn earlier, and she brought up some great points that I'm going to spend some time looking at a little bit later, but that is on there for you guys to take a look at tonight as well. So outside of that, business as usual.
Okay. If there's no questions for Colter, we'll move on to Chevy with Town Square.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor and Council. So events and at the Square are still going good. We've been through 2 movies and 2 concerts since we last met. The concert for Deer Creek Days went really well. We had, I would estimate, about 500 people attend that one. And on Saturday there, we had the Art Fest, the Chalk Art Fest, and the Cornhole, and the Pie Eating Contest, which yielded about 300 people. And then even on Sunday, we had about 150 people at the Square for that whole Deer Creek Days round. And then on the 4th of July, we had a movie. We played Aquaman, and then on the 5th, we had East Street's Prophets. That went really well as well. And as stated, we did have to close the splash pad. The readings for the pH are 8.6, so they're really high in alkali. And for some reason, our uric acid pump's not kicking on. And between all of us, we really don't know how to fix that. So I have been backtracking and getting the names of our local distributors so we can have someone come out here and help us if it's a plug that needs fixed or filters or if we need to replace our probes. So I'm working on that as hard as I can to get that up back and running for everyone.
Okay. Any questions for Chevy? If not, Fire Department, Mr. Nelson.
Mayor, Council, 4th of July is Chief Felton said it went off pretty good. I think we ended up with about 650 cars for the 2 nights. That's kind of a ballpark. So we did have a couple fires this year. Nothing, we keep one vehicle out roving, and but I do think that having it out there probably keeps us running from county line to the 150. There was a few out in the county doing them, but Rolling Hills, they had the ban on, and it went well up there too. We didn't have any calls. the two fires we did have, probably maybe 2 acres between the two of them. So wasn't a bad deal. We did get something back yesterday from Rob Defoe with the insurance on the roof up there. So we'll move forward with that. And I talked to Kelly today about the payment of it because the insurance will come to the town. So if we do, so it just comes out of the town. That'll work. I'll get with the contractor tomorrow and get them coming on that so we can get the ball rolling. We've only been doing it for about a year now, so we'll get that taken care of. And then the other thing, I guess, is moving forward with the addition on the fire hall, the engineering and stuff. I don't know what kind of input you guys are wanting, if we want to stay with the same front on the building addition or how you want to proceed with that. So I guess looking for a little bit of direction on that from you all as far as engineering and that goes with that.
We can get together and have a meeting. We'll get CEPI down here and talk about some design and stuff and the structure, and then we can.
Okay. I will.
That way they'll know how to proceed with designing that, so it could come forward in a bid ready process.
Yep. I will try and set something up. Is there a particular time or day that works better for you guys?
Ray's usually down here on Wednesdays for several construction meetings, and actually he's going to be here probably tomorrow. Is a little too soon, but we're going to meet and go over some stuff over at the Miller property that we purchased across from town Public Works area, and I can bring it up to him then, see what kind of looks like on his schedule. Then I'll give you and Sean a call, and we'll figure out a time
Sounds
to get
good.
together.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Anything for us?
Nope, you guys did a great job.
Yeah,
Somebody had a fun time cleaning all that up.
Well, that big red dumpster, it got charred a little bit and shrunk it down, but it was at capacity and then some, and I'm really glad Bill and the guys had some more dumpsters out there because I think they were probably all full too. So appreciate it, and fields next year, Bill, be a little greener where they burned. Just that south field seemed to be the one that was the.
Yeah.
Well, we had problems with brakes, and we didn't have the water system on there soon enough. But it'll come back.
Yeah, it'll be nice and green next year. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That's all of our parts. Is there any items from the floor this evening?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Nice to be home from Arizona, especially after Craig's 8-day hospital stay after suffering 5 strokes while we were down there. So it's good to be home. However, I'm a little bit stressed right now because I heard some rumors and started doing some investigation. And some things have been being discussed that affect us, our business, and so I guess I want to share my opinion about those things, and I guess I'll start off with the fact that I understand beautification of Glen Rock. We've had mayors in the past, and that was their entire goal. That's been a lot of years ago. I understand that not everyone takes the same pride in their properties. And I think we're an example of people who do take pride in their property. Our grass burned up because we weren't here. We got a weed litter because Arnie missed mowing something, but we've tried to get all of that taken care of. So as I see that there's been discussion on tiny homes and RVs in mobile home zones, that's gone on, and some discussion that took place and some voting and some ordinances that died because they didn't have a second. But I have a problem with the fact that it's my understanding on the whole tiny home thing that nothing on the south side is going to be able to have a tiny home. Okay, so the south side has always been slightly different than the north side.
South side of town is over 90-some percent R1,
Okay,
and they don't allow any in R1.
that wasn't what was
That's almost a nationwide thing, Sue.
that wasn't what was proposed to begin with.
Well,
but that's
it was
what you.
proposed, and that's why it was voted down by
Okay.
the council.
So I'm making a comment. Okay.
I'm just letting you know that that's how it's zoned. You should know that. You were mayor for 4 years.
Well, zoning is an issue with me because we're talking now about when I see this proposal that was made that planning and zoning agreed to and didn't have a problem with, but when it came before the council, it became a problem. And I guess I'm curious about how something that's been in effect since the late 40s with Dill's Mobile Home Park, having had RVs since then, why now it's becoming an issue. I understand that there's been different things that have gone on in different parts of town. In fact, there's still one on the south side of town that's been there for a number of years, and everybody keeps telling me nobody lives in it, but if you drive by it, the water's hooked up, the power's hooked up. Clearly someone's living in it. But when we're talking about an established business that has had RVs and motorhomes for at least since the 40s, all of a sudden now we're going to change the rules. I don't see how that is effective. I understand that there are places on the north side that need to be cleaned up, and that some people don't take the pride, but if you look on the south side, there's people that don't take the same pride in their properties that look just as bad as some of the stuff on the north side. So when you're saying that RVs will not be allowed in mobile home zones, we are an established business. So I understand that if you don't want to let them on individual people's lots, I understand that. That's slightly different. But when I drove around, we're talking like, how many did we count today? I think that there's 8 RVs on all of the north side. It's less than 10. And if you drive around and look at the rest of the spots that are available, I think there's 6. So I think we're talking between 14 and 16 spaces that that people might put RVs on. And so it's my understanding that part of the discussion, I just got the information today about when this discussion took place about that we don't want it to become a crap hole over there on the north side. We're talking 14 places, and if all of those people are told that 14, it's not even 14 that are occupied right now, it's 14 potential. I think there's 8 that are occupied. Where are those people supposed to go? There's 2 spaces down in the Deer Creek RV Park. The two RVs that are in our trailer court right now, one is a 76-year-old lady. In that place, she has looking better than probably 50% of the spaces in this town. The other one has a spouse with congenital heart failure. So we're talking about an elderly person that's going to get displaced, and we're talking about basically a handicapped person that's going to be displaced. Where are they going to go? And I'm curious about, you had this discussion back in February. At what point were we going to be notified? The day that people are supposed to move out? So my concern is, okay, so you're saying that it's going to be okay for people to put in tiny homes in a mobile home district. up to 2 per lot if it's big enough, okay? And that there's no requirement that the property owner even live on that property. So now we're telling people they can have 3 rentals on one piece of property. The person who owns it doesn't even have to be there.
The maximum is 2, Sue, not 3 per lot, if their lot's big enough.
Right, but there would be the original dwelling.
No,
No,
not in the,
not in the mobile home. There'll only be 2. There's a,
Okay.
if there's a
Okay.
house built in that mobile home area, then if they have enough,
Okay.
they can only take up so many percentage. Is it 40%?
Okay.
So
Okay,
if they-
all right, so even if it's
but
that.
Just to
even
let
if-
you know right now with what's gone on, we've already pulled the tiny home again because part of the paperwork is not right, so it's not on the schedule for
I
this evening.
understand that.
And also Lyle is giving another year's time for the RVs that are on the north, that are in town on lots to be there for 1 more year before they have to be removed by ordinance.
But why would, I understand that could affect individual lots. Why should that affect our established business that's been in business since the 40s?
Well, under RV statutes or city ordinance that were part of them in place when you were mayor, and what the state statutes
we did
were.
not rezone anything.
That wasn't rezoned. It's an ordinance. It wasn't any zoning at all,
Okay,
Sue. But the thing says,
Hey, don't-
if you're going to have RVs, you need to have a wash house and a laundry
okay.
for those.
Every one of those is self-contained, so how is it any
It
different
doesn't
than a
matter
tiny
where,
home?
the RV park, the Deer Creek RV Park, all those are self-contained too, and they have
Yeah, but they also have camping down there. We
Well,
don't have camping, so.
They still
So
provide it.
why are we now making it an issue? You are taking away.
We didn't put that ordinance
You
in
are
effect.
taking
We have to
away
abide by
our
that.
income and giving it to other people because you're allowing them to do tiny homes.
I don't see any tiny homes getting built by any time soon.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, we're not talking tiny homes. We're talking about you're wanting to talk about RVs.
That's right, because our
And the
business
RVs
is established
under ordinance that
and
we have
has
right
been.
now, it says they're not allowed there.
And when did that ordinance go into effect?
I haven't read it in quite a while. Do you remember, Lyle?
When no RVs,
Mhm.
I have no idea.
It's been in the ordinance book for a long, long, long time. So
Okay, so in the 40s,
well,
there was
well,
RVs,
well,
okay? All right, so,
And your 2 lots that have the 2 RVs on it, up until not that many years ago, you had 2 full-size trailers there, not RVs. When
no,
those 2
no, no,
trailers
no,
came off,
no,
they
no,
went
we
in.
need to go back a long time because Howard Ackerman and Leon Howe both parked motorhomes in there for years, and they've been gone, dead for years. The other one, where Judy's trailer is right now, there was 2 different fifth wheels in there for at least 15 or 20 years. So,
Well, until you
this-
can either bring a motion forward to planning and zoning to change that ordinance.
there was planning and zoning approved this as part of the tiny home.
Under the
And it
tiny
was
home has
killed
nothing
here.
to do about
Well, it was
RVs.
presented as that. Planning and zoning was okay with it.
No, planning and zoning was not okay with
Well,
RVs.
they certainly are. Right here, I have it on this paperwork.
The very first proposal that went through planning and zoning, we okayed RVs. in
Okay,
the
excuse me,
mobile
all right.
section. That was there. There was a lot of stipulations. There was a lot of requirements to make that happen. If that was different. And then it went to council, and council didn't like it, and they voted it down.
Based on what?
on the fact that it needed to be readdressed because there were some problems with certain parts of it.
But only one part of it was said no, we're saying no on that part.
We voted against it because we felt it needed to be readdressed. So we chose to readdress it. We are still in that process.
So you're telling me this could still be part of it, RVs in the mobile home?
I'm not telling you that it could or could not. That we're still in the process of looking at it. Lyle can.
I mean, the last place I think we left off with council, my understanding is we didn't want RVs in the mobile home. And that's what led us to the point of,
How many parks do we have here? How many trailer parks do we have that we need to worry about that?
2. One that has, how many spaces do you have, Doug?
6.
And we have 10.
We're talking about 2 an hour. And he needs, at this point, 1, right?
He has 1 parked out there but can't get any utilities.
And those are, at least it's giving people a place to live.
It's
This
a-
man just packed, he did all the regulations for mobile home. His place is all skirted and done up. The other one is, they've done what they're supposed to, but yet you don't want them to live on the north side, I guess. I don't know what to do.
And
so one comment for me is RVs in a mobile home district is totally out of the norm. And that's what I said. And when that proposal went through the planning board, we put a lot of requirements into that. And so when that went to the council, it was out of the norm. And there's a lot of concern that you could be on a slippery slope. And they lowered it down. And that's where it landed. And then we landed back on, okay, if that's what we're going to do, I'd like to see us put a deadline out there that's far enough away that people got time to prepare to.
how do you prepare when there is no place to go and it's only going to get worse with all of this wind farm stuff? So you're going to displace people. There's no place for them to go. You're hurting an established business that's been here for years, and it doesn't, as long as they're maintaining things, it appears that the next thing you're going to do is say the rest of the crap trailers that we've got down there because they're old need to go away, and those people need to go away. I'm sorry, not everyone has the kind of money to be able to, number 1, buy a home. Number 2, buy a newer trailer. I don't like it either, but if that's the only thing those people can do, that's the only thing those people can do. You know, our rent, we try and keep our rent. We're not subsidized by the government, but we try and keep our rent low because we know those people have no place else to go. Our rent is $300 a month. If they go down to the Deer Creek RV Park, even if they can find a place, it's going to be $600-700 a month. They can't afford that. Where do those people go?
That's the whole deal. There is no place to go.
Well, we have a council workshop on, what's the date?
Monday.
This coming Monday, which is the 17th? 15th or so. Just,
Whatever date that Monday is.
yeah, it's at 5 p.m. We can kick it around more then. So then instead of in the middle of the council meeting right now, the council did allow Doug to use his for a short period of time, even though he was told not to put it in there and not rent it because it didn't meet ordinance.
But
Lyle.
Okay, that's what you keep going back to is that ordinance. But look at the crappy, crummy trailers that are across from him down there. And down there in the area across the street from him. You know, it's just we're picking on the wrong people, especially at the wrong time when there is no place else for people.
Lyle has been working on the 2 abandoned ones down there to get them removed.
Yeah, one of them is supposed to be removed, the other one is going to get renovated, and they're on a time frame of when.
Well, it's just, you know, we took care of that when we had one like that. We've got another one that we're working on, but, you know, there's no place for these people to go. And so it's just, especially when you're talking elderly and you're talking handicapped, you know, it's going to be an ugly road is what it's going to be, especially since we've been in business since the 40s, you know, and Craig and I have had it for
And we did update
40 years.
Sewers
And everything.
Trees down there, so it looked more respectable. So we sunk a lot of money into it in the last couple of years, trying to make it a better place. And I think if you drive by our place, our house, and that whole area, it's all mowed up, and it probably looks better than any place on the north side.
There's a lot of them over there look good. Most people have been fairly good about taking care of their properties. I'm not saying all of them are, and the ones that aren't are getting notices from Lyle for code compliance.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to come to the meeting Monday night, please come and we can discuss a little bit more there, Sue, okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Eric Farrington. I have a couple questions. I am actually one of the tenants she was referring to at 202 North 4th. I moved in there a year ago, and when I first applied for a permit, I was given the information that you have an RV and not a mobile home. I said, what is the difference between an RV and a mobile home? And I was given a blank stare, basically. I was not given a clear definition. According to what I was told, I have skirting, I have wheels, I have laundry, I have bathroom facilities, I have sewer, I have plumbing, I have everything absolutely what a mobile home does. I'm just a smaller size. What I want to know is what's the difference. I've been a member, I've been in and out of Glen Rock here for the last 20 years. Granted, I haven't been in the same spot. I've been moving around. I am a worker. I'm a crane operator. I go cross country. I go from Maine to Florida to Texas to California. It doesn't matter. I decided to come back. Me and my wife decided to come back because we love Glen Rock. I've known Miss Council Member Collings for quite a number of years, her and her husband for quite a number of years. She could tell you a little bit of history about me. I am not the most kosher guy when it comes to speaking or anything else like that, as well known. However, I've also gave the shirt off my backs to a lot of people around this community, and I continue to do so, and I will continue to do so every single day. Because I love Glen Rock. I love what I'm doing here, and what I'm not understanding is I feel like I'm being persecuted here because I own an RV. When I got that lot, granted, the demolition that came out of that lot, it left a lot of stuff to work. I had a lot of work to do in that yard, and I still have a lot of work to do in that yard. Sometimes I'm gone for a month and a half at a time. My wife has to can pretty much suffer as much as she can until I get back and help. But when I get back, I don't think anybody that has been past that corner has seen that I have not been making an effort to keep that place up, to improve the area, to improve the fencing, to improve the everything I could to make it work, to make it a viable part of the community and not an eyesore. What I don't understand, again, why is me and Judy, just specifically us two that I know about, being persecuted because of the definition of a mobile home? That's what I don't understand.
It's part of it's part of the ordinance. It's all, there is statements, there is stuff out there to give you the difference between an RV and a mobile home. And when we will work on this again in workshops. If you want to come to that meeting, we'll discuss it further there. We're not going to just stand here and discuss it for an hour this evening, sir.
Okay, well, last question I got then, Mr. Mayor. Last question I got is because I wasn't told that we had another year to go, I guess. I wasn't told none of this. None of the residents were informed.
Are you the one that came in and talked to Lyle, told you didn't have much time, probably till late fall?
No, this was.
You were the last one in.
Yeah, I guess I was. Maybe I was, but this has been over a year ago.
Well, you're not the last guy that came in, I believe.
I mean the last.
Okay, well,
the
has
two that are
anything
on.
been discussed since then?
But came to the planning and zoning. Lyle needs to take it back to planning and zoning and come up with some better stuff there. Then it will.
I guess all I'm asking the council is to have a little bit of notification for the people to know when that is going to happen, so we can actually have our voice inputted in there.
Well, I had a discussion with Lyle several weeks ago, and again this morning, that he did decide not to make the RVs move out this year. He's given it one more year, and I was expect him to probably contact everybody that is going to be involved in that, let them know that it's got another year's time.
Because all I've heard is rumors. And
Well, yeah,
going
that's
about
why
it,
we need
rumors.
to,
I can't
that's
do
why you
that.
need to find out from him that that's what was discussed a couple weeks ago, and it was discussed again today.
So in our next work session, we're going to come up with a date and say that the council blesses that date, then we'll go about getting out notifications. And I'll go to every single trailer, we'll put it on Facebook, we'll put it in the paper, we'll do everything we can to notify people.
Oh, this will be the last statement I got. Thank you, Mr. Lyle. I appreciate it. I just hope this council understands that I'm a hardworking man. My wife is, as she has said, she is going through heart problems right now. I am not destitute by all means. I'm paying my bills. I'm doing the best thing I can. I hope this council understands that it doesn't matter whether it's a mobile home or RV. It matters the person. I hope you guys understand that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other items from the floor? If not, we'll move on. We have no old business, so we're moving on to new business. Let me get through that 70 pages. I'm getting there. Next order of business is for, I believe, an open container for Donnie and June Patton for a celebration of life at the Town Park Pavilion number 2 from noon to 4 p.m. on July 24, 2024. Could have up to possibly 200 people in and out during that time. They didn't know that it's set for the 21st of this month. She didn't know that it normally has to be in 30 days ahead of schedule, but it's been brought in and put on the council's agenda for this evening to talk about and decide whether or not it would be passed. So, Ms. Patton, standing here this evening, would you like to make a statement or anything, ma'am?
Well, Mr. Mayor and Council, I don't know how many of you, some of you I'm sure knew my son Brett Donald. He passed away on the first day of January this year, unexpectedly, of pneumonia and influenza A. And his dream had been, for several years, he was just about to the point of retiring, to move back here to Wyoming again. And so he's coming home, and his friends are all going to be celebrating. We do not intend to provide alcohol. We'll be providing soft drinks and water. But I know a number of his friends are going to want to toast him. And so what we thought we could do, if it would be permissible, and we do understand there can't be glass bottles down there, would be at that second pavilion. The first one we thought we would do with food and memory books, things like that, and then that farthest one, so it'd be further away from where the kids are playing and things at the play area. If anyone is consuming a beer and wanting to toast or whatever, they could do that at that area and wouldn't be disturbing anyone else. And we do also have at least 6 people I know of who absolutely do not consume at all. They don't just say, oh, well, I've only had a couple and it's, all right. So that there will definitely be nobody leaving the grounds that's been drinking. We'll have somebody that will be able to drive them.
Okay.
Could I ask Chief Felton if he has any thoughts on if this could be allowed and be okay?
I think they've thought it out pretty well. I don't see an issue with it.
And the consumption will just be in Pavilion 2?
Yes, that we wanted to keep it contained so that people weren't wandering around with open cans of beer or something. Yeah, they need to stay in that area and stay seated, or if they're standing, stay there. Yeah, and we'll have music going and everything, so if they get a little loud, it won't project over, I don't think, too bad.
And at 2 p.m., this would end, and if people wanted
Says
to...
4, noon to 4.
Or at 4 p.m., this would end, and if people wanted to continue to celebrate, they would be welcome to go to an appropriate facility to celebrate.
Wherever they chose to, yeah.
But that they would be leaving that area.
Well, yes. We're, of course, going to need some time to clean up afterwards. We want to make sure we leave it better than we found it, and and then we might be there, but actually people coming in and out, we're going from 12 to 4, and that's our plan, for...
Okay, is there any other discussion or questions for Mrs. Patton?
I move that we allow this open container permit for this special celebration to honor a member of her family.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries.
Well, I thank you all.
Thank you, Nat.
Yeah, thank you. Our next order of business is the land exchange agreement, which I've already read the first part of it. I'm not reading all, 8 pages of it. Everybody understands what's going on. We're exchanging 2.9 acres of city property in the industrial park out there for 8.338 acres from the county. We've finally got all the paperwork done that we needed to do because we're bound by a lot more restrictions by statute, state statute in our ordinances than the county is, so it took us longer to get our paperwork together, but it's finally there. So is there a motion to pass the land exchange agreement with the town, between the town and the county?
Yeah, I move that we pass the land exchange agreement between the town and the county.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I know that this is a difficult issue because this will be a private facility just for law enforcement, but I feel it is an important facility to keep our policemen and our law enforcement trained and can maybe also be used by other police in the area. And I know that the big issue is that people are somewhat unhappy that there is no private use of that allowed, but I don't think that they could possibly mix. And hopefully, in the future, maybe we can address this thing of a public area for people to go and sight in their guns.
We've been discussing the last few days some stuff about the public range that we have up by the dump, below the dump. It is in need of some repairs right now. We knew that coming into the spring, but our public works crew is pretty well caught up or not caught up right now. We're trying to get with that, but we will go out and look at, see what repairs we do need to make. I think we need to make some adjustments for what's been out there for our backstops and stuff, because our agreement and stuff out there that people are supposed to know is no shotguns, and they shoot up our backstops with shotguns, and they don't pick up their trash or their brass or anything else. And I think if we're going to continue to spend public dollars to take care of it, I think we should charge a little more money for them to use it and make sure that they've cleaned it up.
Sign them in and out, for sure.
Yeah, they have to come to the police department anyway to get the key, and I think it needs to be routinely inspected and checked. And if we're going to keep putting money into it, I would really love to go someplace else. That's something we might still talk to with the dump district as the grass grows in on the reclamated area, because we have all those benches up there. You have all those bench areas up there to actually build several different length of ranges in there on the old deal. I don't know with the inspections or the time lapse of, being looked at by the DEQ for over the years forever, if that would be a possible thing to do, or we have to go out and purchase something that's usually pretty expensive to find some land to take care of that much, and most of them are that size of shooting ranges with long range pistol, shotgun, skeet and trap houses and stuff, and fantails are usually private clubs that cost quite a bit of money to join every year. But if it's not going to be taken care of right now, they have shot up all of our short backstops for handguns from 5 yards out to 25 yards are totally destroyed and need to be replaced again. The backstops at 100 yards have been shot up a lot again. So we need to go out and work on it, and I will set some of that time up when Bill thinks part of the crew can go get the material and go out and do some work there, and we're probably going to have to refit some of those stand-up backstops for the handguns and rebuild them so we can reset them up because they get laid down so they can shoot 100 yards there. But that's something in the future we need to look at, of whether we find some place or that the town can either lease some state land again and build a longer range shooting facility, or if somebody wants to build one and charge access to it, I help pay for access to one that has handgun shooting from 100 yards to 1,500 yards and shotguns, and it's $1,000 a year for us to be members of that club.
It might be a wise move to go down and have a intense discussion with the people that had the shooting range at Douglas to see some of the issues that they had and how they solved them and some of the reasons that they struggled before we jumped into anything. Maybe we could learn from them.
That'd be something that we could go talk to them about and see what I know they've had some trouble in the past of some vandalism and shooting things up too. The
last time we tried to go out there, the road was almost impassable too.
Yeah, the road down there is in the sand. The one thing that will probably help us a little bit is the town of Glen Rock spoke up for the milling of the overlay from the 7 miles of Highway 95 from the Wyoming DOT, and they told us we will get the road-to-mill. So we're going to, if that gets done and we get the road-to-mill, we're going to give some of it haul it into the landfill so they can improve their roadways there to take care of, and then we have enough that we would mourn enough, and we have some big piles of large asphalt and concrete out by the sewer lagoons from all the infrastructure work. We're bringing in a mobile crusher this year to crush all that and mix it together for base stuff for some roads like that. So that way we can do some improvement of the road down there to that shooting range. And it's kind of hard to totally blade that with it's in the hillside there. It does blow shut if we get an early winter and bad snow drifts, but it's something we're dealing with. So, but that's the process we're working on. But we're going to keep having to put money into it because people aren't taking care of it. It's throwing good money after bad.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to call for the question so that we can close this issue of this land exchange.
Go ahead.
That means we need to vote.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oh, there we go. All those opposed? Motion carries, and we will finish the paperwork on the land exchange. We've only been on that for 6 months, or to a year. I think our next order of business is a tree grant application by Mary Alice Hand at 421 South 4th Street, Glen Rock. She has a very large cottonwood tree that's 70-plus years old that they're starting to have some trouble with. Some large branches fell out of it the other day, and Public Works went up and helped cut those up and get them out of the street on Elk Street there. So, and she's asking for a tree grant. What we give out is $500 towards the removal of that tree. So is there a motion?
I move that we award this grant for $500 to Mary Alice Hand to help her remove her large tree.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I have one question on this. When this 50% of total cost not to exceed $500 was established, I'm thinking removing trees might have been a little cheaper than it is today. This is a tremendously expensive thing. Could we possibly consider in the future of maybe extending that to more than $500 as a minimum to help our landowners clean up their
Something
trees?
we can discuss and have to put into the budget. I think there's a way to get some money from the county. I have not discussed that with the commissioners and how much money they give out on their awards.
I just happen to know that Mary Alice Hand did have a discussion with one of the commissioners about that very thing. So she's headed that.
I sent her that way.
I think it's
I was advised of
2,500.
that also.
I think it's 2,500.
That the county gives out.
This is interesting to me because we just paid $20,000 to have all of ours trees, but we didn't qualify for anything. So $2,800 for her to pay and get $500, I think is kind of nice because of where the trees.
Why wouldn't you have been allowed to get a tree?
Trees didn't meet the qualification of where they were located.
Well, we pay out 500. The town has for a long, long time paid out.
What the tree grant application has specifics on.
I didn't know
where
that.
the tree has to be located, and ours didn't fall in that category.
I think there are rules about it. Maybe it has to be a hazard, a public safety.
There is some wording in there, but I don't know who told you that it didn't qualify, because I think they're probably pretty lenient on that, knowing that
A tree falling down is a
crushes
hazard.
the guy's house or his car.
And it's only $500.
Yeah.
So I think there's a pretty broad spectrum there.
There has been. We've done a few over the last couple of years that were
Pretty bad.
all over town. So I don't know why it would. Well, it's like Lyle says, we've been pretty lenient on it, and I don't see a problem. And maybe we need to discuss and change what we're helping pay out, because it is very expensive to.
Oh, it's terrible.
Do
It's
trees
terrible.
anymore.
For cost of trees, for low bid, well, that's, if you've been up and looked at that cottonwood tree, somebody's got a large project on their hand to get that thing cut down. It's a big cottonwood tree, and it's probably at least 4 foot in diameter at the base, or bigger.
Mr. Mayor, may I call for the question again so we can get this tree cut down out of our hair?
I would ask for somebody to make a motion.
I
You got
move,
it?
I move that we allow this grant.
Okay.
We
I thought
already.
Oh, wait,
We already.
okay, so let's
Yeah,
vote.
we just
then.
had to vote.
Since we've talked too much. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by nay. Motion carries. I guess that's something we can discuss at Monday
Tree gone.
evening's council workshop.
That is a big tree.
Next order of business is the Animal Shelter and Holding Memorandum of Understanding between Evansville and the town of Glen Rock. I will let Chief Felton explain this to you.
So, what has happened is the Evansville, like I said, as a whole, the city, they used to use the Humane Society in Casper. However, something happened; they had a falling out. So, as it stands, they do not have a place to take the animals that their animal control officer picks up. They are in the process of having a new facility built. It is being built back east, from what I understand, by one of the Amish communities, and then they will actually send it out here whole, place it, hook it up to the plumbing and things like that, and be up and running. The problem is, as we all know, that takes time for anything these days. So they're looking, they believe in September, by the end of September, they should be up and running and ready to go. They have requested that in the meantime, that should they find themselves unable to return a dog to its owner, that they be able to house it within our facility. So that's basically what the MOU is outlining, just for our protection and such. As I stated, Councilwoman Nunn and I spoke earlier. She brought up a couple of things that she'd like to see reworded, so I'm actually going to put aside some time with council tonight and speak with her about the rewording of those things.
So at this time, we're not going to vote on this. We're going to look at this again and clean it up.
Absolutely up to the council, I guess.
Well, where we're
which
at
way
right
you wanna
now,
go.
we have to, there has to be a motion of affirmative to start with, so I would have to ask for a motion to approve the MOU between Glen Rock and Evansville. Is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll move till we approve this between Glen Rock and Evansville.
There's a motion. Is there a second one?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion or any more discussion?
Margaret, did you want
Yes, there are a few issues in there that I think it would be of our benefit and of their benefit to have them defined a little more clearly. Some of them are financial and some of them are just a bit technical, but I don't see that we need to rush into this without maybe reviewing it again and trying it again. Therefore, I would much prefer that we would set this aside for tonight and to try to take another run at it when we've had it cleaned up a little bit.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Wait, excuse me. What are you voting on?
To pass it.
To pass it? Okay.
Has to be a motion of affirmative. If you don't pass it, that's how you get rid of it. So, all those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed by nay.
Nay.
Motion fails. We will work on rewording it and go from there.
Real quick, Mr. Mayor, do we have to have, and how many readings do we need on this? Is this just going to be?
One.
Okay, so if it would please the council, I'll work with our council and bring something back, maybe have it presented to you Monday night, would that be?
We have an emergency to vote on it. We can't vote on it in.
I understand.
Or you can write it up and we talk about it.
Just so that you guys can
We
look
could
at it
actually-
and see if the
we could
changes
actually
appear, I mean, we're good enough for everybody, would that be?
Vote on it on that
that be
emergency
okay?
meeting.
Well, I don't know if can you have it, is it a rush to have this?
Or would it be?
Well, as it stands, they don't have anywhere to take the animals. I can tell you we have had 0 animals come up, and I don't foresee them, having it. I just don't want to necessarily
I'll have
conduct
it.
dirty business without you guys' blessing to say, yes, we'll help a sister agency out.
Would you like us to vote on at the emergency meeting on Thursday? Could you have it
As long
ready?
as we could have, like I said, I don't want to do it without everybody having enough time to review. But I certainly would be happy to work toward it between now and Thursday.
If you want to work on it for what wording you think needs to be there and bring it into the workshop, we can discuss it there it shouldn't take long to discuss it and make sure everybody seems to be in agreement, and then we can vote on it on Thursday.
Yeah, and if everybody's okay with it if everybody were okay with it in the meantime, if they had a situation that they couldn't fix. And I will tell you that they have a temporary facility up there where they can house dogs overnight and things like that. And so this would be one in a, I don't know, very rare situation where they might need us. I just hate to have to tell them now if they needed it in the meantime. But I'm certainly happy to work toward it.
We'll try to resolve this as soon as possible.
Okay. Thank you.
So, I think our next order of business is bills and claims.
I move we pay our bills and claims.
There's a motion to pay our bills and claims. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There has been, just so you know, you want to add that with, there are 3 additions for payments out on 3 of our street and.
What are they?
Yeah.
So, excuse me. For Ramshorn Construction for the Mesa Verde Mill and Overlay,
Ram's Horn?
Ramshorn, yes.
the amount $413,845.84.
84 cents, okay.
To Knife River for the Keller and Ninth project. It's their first submission. $367,000, $367,499.90. And then Andreen Hunt for the Second Street project, $861,263.94. And another one I needed to add today because it had been overlooked, which is my apologies, is for the entertainment this weekend at the Square, so that we can get him paid, and that's to Tris Munsick for $2,500.
Okay. Would you like to add that to your motion?
And may
Lucky me.
I ask when the American Legion can expect their $2,000 check?
I'll have it tomorrow.
Tomorrow, thank you.
Amend the motion to include Ram's Horn Construction for $413,845.84. Knife River, $367,499.90. Andreen Hunt, $861,263.94. And entertainment for the town square at $2,500 to
Tris Munsick.
who she said.
Would you like the second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded again. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. So you got a lot of checks to sign in the morning.
It's just money, Bruce.
That's just money. We can make more tomorrow.
That was a lot of add-on.
But we're getting close to the end of the Second Street project, so. Let me go back to the. Need somebody to make a motion to move into executive session on real estate and basically it's all real estate. Is there a motion?
I move that we go into executive session for real estate.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. We'll move to executive session.
Oh, I just want to make sure I was doing it right. Yeah.
Oh, we've got to sign bills. Paid bill, paid bill.
Gee, it was 35,000. They went to 1 million.
Are you telling me? A lot of money. I don't know.
That's what we
Oh,
call
yeah,
sticker
I
shock.
wonder if
Yeah, I told the guys at the they talked about them on Wednesday morning about making their pay deals at that time. I said we need to get them in just, of course, with the 4th of July and
that was that.
yeah, and you'll be getting one before. Yeah,
Coming soon.
coming soon. But I told them to get them in a little bit quicker. That's good because that water main's a 12-inch and that's transmission. So
Kelly, thank you.
Interesting. Okay, thank you.
okay, let's go upstairs and have a quick meeting.
What's that?
Sure, if you want to.
That'd be great. Thank you, Kelly.
It's been a Monday.
And that's where like the top part about the fees, so their ordinances have to be dogs, right? So we put a number on it, they're required to abide by it.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're not doing that. Okay, the town government's supposed to pay This would be a lump sum of the total. Yeah, I think we'll change this because that doesn't really make sense to me, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we'll rework that. And then, I mean, how long?
She wants to know how many dogs, how many days we'll hold them. So again, it's
I
kind of
mean,
by
it's
ordinance.
not really like us, like to make that, like us as the town to make that determination. It's ultimately
It's them
the
to
animal
be
shelter
responsible
and
for
them
it.
too, yeah.
Well, it's, so the way it stands, ours is not a shelter, right? We don't hold
Yeah.
anything. So past 7 days, Stewart's really good. And because we're never overcrowded, we don't have to put dogs down or cats down if we can rehouse them. So we try to rehouse anything that's there for the requirement, which is 7 days for us to hold animals, right? We have to hold it 7 days before we can technically take charge of it, which is either kill it or give it or adopt it.
Right,
We
that's
do-
what our.
That's what our
ours
ordinance says in
is,
Glenrock.
yeah.
Now, Evansville is not the same. I'm pretty
Right.
sure they can negotiate it. But again, they don't even pick up cats. I don't know what they're because they had, Metro before. So Metro is apparently but they were, they're not in school. It's like no chief forever. I think it's not like we get a representative on your phone. I feel like we can
we'll probably
figure out
have a
the needs.
conversation. Yeah. Yeah, so here's what I want to do. Okay, I'm going to change this one only. And also Bruce is the town of Glen Rock, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what does she
Unless
want?
unless she wants to change the mayor. See what I'm good.
Can I have that? Can I
Yeah.
have that?
Which-
Okay.
And like I said, I told her, I said, honestly, I've read so many fucking legal documentation, but I was like, I swear to God, it says in there that town of Glen Rock from here forward will be like the mayor of Glen
Well,
Rock.
there's a,
George was kind of-
there's a Wyoming state statute on what that means. And what that means is the town of Glen Rock are these people. You know what I'm saying? She
Well,
just
if
has
you're
to.
the one that's on the- and the thing is, and honestly, my thing is, I didn't even like, came in like that. I was like, do I really have to bring this to the council? Because I've got so many other MOUs and fun stuff you guys haven't seen. And I can tell you every day, everybody's trying to bring it to people to go in front of everyone.
Exactly.
This is for me.
I can't do what you're doing have to bring it up at the council also.
If they have to come up, it's going to our shelter.
Exactly. And
I'm not telling them no.
We're not gonna care. Yeah. Yeah. And if we run out of room, then obviously we just tell them that we can't take anymore.
Yeah,
That's it.
well, they have to
And
find another
also,
alternative. They know
like-
that. Ours is your preference.
Also, like, yeah, also, they're represented by my firm, so
That's what I
we'll
mean.
just
It's
do
a simple
some.
fucking in-house
And
conversation.
also, we didn't even need to probably do this in front of the council because it is, again, represented by my firm, so we can just handle it. We could just do this on a handshake deal. You know what I'm saying?
Was gonna do it on a handshake deal, and then I thought, like, well, maybe we should write something up just saying fees will be sent here, whatever, and you guys agree, whatever. I just.
Also, if you want more money, just tell me and I'll just tell Scott Murray to give you more money.
Well, but that's it. It's like, and again, the chief and I agreed. We sat down, we talked. Hey, I said, if one of your dogs damages a run or any other bit of our
Yeah,
facility,
we're gonna
like,
ask you to
I
pay
want
for
you to pay for it. And he was like, yeah, that's no problem. If
Yeah.
we run out of food sometime because your dog that's been there for one night suddenly eats all the food, like we
You're
buy
gonna
a
have
bag
to
of
pay
food.
for it.
Yeah, we're happy
Yeah.
to buy that. Like,
Yeah, gonna be simple.
Yeah.
We'll get it
I'm
figured
not
out.
worried.
Don't
I
worry about
appreciate
this.
it. Thank you.
Yeah, goodbye.
Yep.
I was going to argue with him about not giving him a definition between a mobile home and an RV, but I'm like, I don't think that was the conversation.
He's an idiot. And,
okay.
you know, maybe for the work session, you just have to have plenty of copies of definitions.
No, I think just
No.
make a motion, just generalize.
Well, I can go find it if you want me to.
I can find it really quick. So we put a legal description on it when we.
I gotta log on to my computer and then I'll find it.
I have the appraisal that, well, we didn't appraise all of them. We had to go back and appraise that one, the one with the shop and stuff, because we didn't appraise it before, so we appraised all of it this last time.
Yeah.
I move we
Kelly said she.
I need a motion to close the
adjourn
executive session.
session and
There's a motion to adjourn the executive session. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Executive session is closed. Back to the regular council meeting. Lyle's running upstairs to get the exact two lot numbers. I think it's lot 2 and lot, I want to say 3, but he's going to go look real quick. I was reading the appraisal and it's actually laying on my kitchen table where it's fine reading because it's only about that thick.
Fine reading.
No, it's not fine reading.
She said she nailed
and get the cliff notes.
No, I did not get. That lady don't write cliff notes for us. She charges us for them appraisals.
Yeah. I check every day.
She's, I don't know who spends the time to write that much stuff out.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's whatever she
Do you get paid by the page?
wants to wait for.
For what they charge, yes.
You guys do.
And then write a lot more. Cancel it. Or it's right if you get it.
Oh, yeah. Just, oh, yeah, for sure.
I have a shredder at home. I can shred it whatever she wants.
Yeah, and if she reissues, you can just pick it up.
So what are you going to do to stay cool, John?
Turn the AC up.
Water out there and that.
I'm sure.
It's going to be horrible.
I know you are.
But that's a
We got it matched up today.
Oh, that hole that I broke the concrete out of.
Well, that's
I bet when he cut that, it went.
And I was
Could be
there.
Most of them do, and it's a 9 minutes. Put it back together.
Bad storm, ripping the roof off her house, and
I think they got it all
And I got
in
tired
this
of
afternoon,
it.
I hope.
yeah.
Just stuck it.
Well, that every time I've ever had cut one out there or anything else, it's just been a dang nightmare to get it.
Trying to match it.
We drove out north a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's a
Man,
pain.
grass is just
Well,
like-
why it was done that way? Somebody should have been shot.
So last week and there's no.
Yeah, I got it.
It's the same way. It's just
All those wires running through.
Lot number
They do
2,
that, don't they? Put the wires.
that's the empty lot, and lot number 4 is the lot with pavement.
2
Okay,
and 4.
2 and
And
4.
that's Meadowlark
Meadowlark,
Addition number 2.
edition number 2.
Meadowlark edition number 2 and lot 2 and 4. Is there a motion to sell that to Mr. Meckham? Bill Meckham.
Come on, John.
I move. Somebody else do this? No.
I move.
I move that we accept buyer's offer
Of 220.
of 220,000 of lot 2 and 4 of the Meadowlark edition for economic development.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
John did a great job.
Yes, he did. He did great.
Pretty good, dude.
If there's no
Add the cliff
discussion,
notes.
if there's no discussion, I will call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. If you will let him know in the morning. Okay, and we'll go through that process of paperwork. Yeah, he's got to be what, by September? It's August or September, I don't know, it's coming up quick. But since I don't believe that there's anything else to come before this council meeting this evening, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn the meeting.
A second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carried. Council meeting is adjourned.